Yeah. Hi everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Nice,
Hi.
lovely to see so many people here. How fantastic to see a wonderful group of people here at this time of evening. We were just saying how amazing it is to have a group of people gathered today, especially lots of mums and other people. Um, we'd love for you to rename yourselves and in the chat share, um, yeah, where you're calling in from and some gratitude, something you're grateful for. If you want to pop that in the chat while we wait for the last couple of people to come in and join us, that would be lovely. Just pop that in there. Yeah. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Ali. Hi, Tom. Hi again, Steve from last night. Hi, Ilona, Yana, Lisa, Dorothy, Justine, Azra, Zoe, Bethan. Eh, I can't, Cardos. I can't pronounce your first name. Sorry. Um, Shunta, Liliana, Emily, Julia, Ted, lovely to see you all here. And yeah, if you just want to put in where you're calling in from in the chat and something you're grateful for today. So I'm calling in from Herefordshire in the UK, and I'm really grateful that I live in a housing co-op and have housemates who could catch my son today when he got home from school earlier than expected. So that was good. How about you, Hattie, who's at or Luby? One of you want to share where you're calling in from?
Yeah, hi everyone. So I'm calling in from Herefordshire as well, different part of Herefordshire. And I'm really grateful to my husband who got in quite late from work, but has just caught my children and swept them upstairs to bed. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Looby, also from Herefordshire. We do all live in the same county, which is lovely. And I am grateful, I'm grateful for having dinner cooked for me early, and I'm so grateful for a full belly and grateful for cats as well. Mm. So let's arrive in this space together. I'm sure all of you have been doing busy things with your day today and had many threads and many balls juggling. So it's great to just arrive. So feeling your feet on the ground, and if you choose to close your eyes and just feel your body, and just take some deep breaths and just feel that breath going all the way down to your feet, and knowing that your feet are connected with Mother Earth, connected even though there'll be a floor in between, and maybe you're upstairs even, but there is a connection between your feet and between Mother Earth. And as you breathe, that breath connects you through your feet to Mother Earth. Feel the roots growing down from your feet, and feel the roots, your roots are interconnecting with the roots of the trees and all the other beings and all the other people in the world to make this interconnected web. And your breath, of course, is connected with the air around us, the air that the trees breathe, the other people breathe. Connected all the way up to the sky and beyond into the stars and the moon. And just feel yourself expanded, grounded, connected, and ready to connect with this Zoom circle that we have call together today. And Emma is going to light a candle for us and open our Mother Nature circle.
Mm. Everybody, welcome to our circle. At the beginning of a Mother Nature circle, we always light a candle to bring us all in together after we've done a grounding. And I'd just like to take a moment to welcome in all the mothers in the world, the ones who came before us, our grandmothers, our great-grandmothers, our great-great-grandmothers, going back through the generations. I'd like to welcome in all the mothers, the fathers, the aunties, the uncles, the cousins, the sisters, the brothers, all the human beings who are here gathered. And I'd also like to welcome in the future generations and connect us to those that will come before us, the future mothers, the future fathers, the future relations, our descendants. And just to really feel that connection and to welcome in the elements, to welcome in the earth, the air, the fire, the water, the more than human world, that great expanse Looby was just talking about, out there into the world. And to really feel that we're all gathered here together peacefully. And I'm going to keep the candle burning. I'm going to put it out the way so I don't set myself on fire. Lovely. Well, we'll introduce ourselves. I think that would be good because we've asked you to say where you're calling, and we've said where we're calling in for. But I'm Emma Gorbutt. I'm part of the Mother Nature project, and I shall now hand over to Looby. She is.
Yeah, so I've been involved in the Mother Nature project since 2017, so when it started as an international project, and we will be sharing a lot more about that as we go. I have two children who are quite a bit older now, so they're 24 and 16. So yes, um, I will share more about the Mother Nature project, but that will do for the moment.
Hattie, do you want to mic it in?
Yeah, hi. So I'm Hattie. I've recently joined the Mother Nature sort of management team, though I have been running Mother Nature circles for quite a few years. And I have two children. They're twin boys, and they are 5. And yeah, like Luby and Emma are saying, later on we will say a bit more about what we're up to.
Thank you. I've got to share. I've also got my son who's 11, but he's being so well looked after, I've forgotten that I have a son. Mm,
So, shall I share about the Mother Nature project and where it came from?
yeah.
So, the Mother Nature project started with a woman, Aggie Beres, in Hungary, and she was doing a labyrinth walk a couple of years after she had had her first children. And in that walk came a vision of running a project for mothers specifically, because when she realized that when she became a mother, all the books were really more about how to look after children and not the deep changes that happen to us when we become a parent. And while we focus on mothers, we know that also this happens with fathers as well, and also mothering in different ways, projects and such. And so she brought together a group of us, and we managed to get Erasmus funding for that project. And we held courses with international groups of mothers and harvested collective wisdom over the themes of the challenges and the and the joys as well, and the strategies for meeting those challenges, and the whole journey of transformation that we go through to become mothers, which now has a name of matriessence, in the same way of adolescence, seeing that journey into mothering as not just one point in time, but a whole take a journey over many years. And so in that project we created the Mother Nature guidebook and the Mother Nature card deck, with these beautiful drawings by another Hungarian woman who part of the team, Esti Laslio, who did all the artwork, the beautiful artwork. And so that came out. We finished that project right at the beginning of 2020, and well, we all know what happened in 2020, so that kind of interrupted our flow into the next phase of the Mother Nature project. So then we had a bit of time off before going into the Mother Nature project number two, which when they and although I was working on behalf of the Permaculture Association, but there, so I invited Emma, who I'd been already collaborating with, to be part of the second project. So over to you, Emma, for.
I love that background bum coming through in there. Yeah, so when I joined in 2021, the way the project was designed and reconfigured was about bringing some more online tools into the process, and also looking at our leadership. And the subtitle of it, a very long name, which I can never remember all of it. Looby can, she's very good at that. But the something in a digital area, but it became known as Mothers as Natural Leaders. And for that, we wanted to create tools that help mums take that next step into their leadership, be it learning to facilitate Mother Nature circles. So we created an online course, to tell you a bit more about later, but yeah, it's an online course where you can learn to lead circles, and also using the cards. So I'll bring those up while I'm chatting so you can see some pictures of them. Oh, and where's the slideshow? That working? Yes. So in the first project that Looby was talking about, these were the Mother Nature cards that we'll use later to have a Mother Nature circle, which is a sharing circle for women to come together. And when they wrote the excellent book, and there was like a couple of pages in the back, it said, oh, why don't you go use these cards to lead a circle to support mums on their transformative journey, to connect with how they're feeling, what their story is. And it was really hard because of the pandemic to get people to do that. So we came up with an online course that was going to use these, the wrong way, it's the guide book and the guide deck. And it's a space for mums to come together and share. And so we created an online course in Italian and English, Slovenian and Hungarian, which all still running. And we also, alongside that, created another deck, which was how we wanted to move mums, not only just being able to step into their leadership through facilitation of circles, but also to create a second card deck that was specifically about our leadership. And you can see both of these on our website. There's a free download of this deck that you can look at and print at home, and we've got the first one available if you're interested. And this one really focusing on how you can connect your leadership of yourself, your family, your community, and the wider world for earth care, and looking at how you do that in those different places. So looking at it from nature connection to support yourself, for stepping into your leadership, for green lifestyles. And my brain's gone blank. There was one more, but yeah, there are four. You can see I go that way. There we go.
The pain for the world.
Pain for the word, where her foot's covering, just over that one. That's one of the draft ones we made. So all of the wisdom in these cards in both decks has come from lots of work with various mothers and women, inputting what their lived experience is. And this second card deck was about that lived experience of stepping into your leadership and looking after yourself, and how do you hold positive vision in a world that's chaotic and difficult, in the world that we're living in, and all those things, and looking at how how you can do that. And to go with that as well, Aggie Beres wrote this book, The Guide for Mother Nature Leadership, to go with the cards. And I'm going to stop the share there because I think that's the end of that one. And alongside of this, we also wrote a book called Mothers as Natural Leaders. Had my my pretend printed copy that I sometimes wave on social media, which is really the cover stuck on a book. But this is available as a PDF download. And in this book, we're going to much more depth exploring regenerative feminine leadership. What does it mean to be a leader of yourself? Do you want to talk a little bit more, Libby, while I bring up the pictures from it about the book?
Yes, sure. So it starts with some premises of why we think of mothers as natural leaders, and then we move into thinking about a different style of leadership. So moving away from the top down leadership into a more collaborative style of regenerative feminine leadership. So we that's the first part. We talk about that, and then we move into personal leadership. How can we step up, and how can we align ourselves with our own practices and our own values? And then we move into family care and family leadership, and then into community leadership, and then out into the world, global leadership. There we are, I got them right. And so that we wrote this collaboratively with five of us, and where all the parts are named as to which we wrote. So there's stories in there from people around the world, and we go deeper into the cards, and there's loads of there we are. There's the five of us in Hungary, just at our last Mother Nature team meeting. I can't remember when it was. 2 years ago? Was it 23?
Year and a half?
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was, yeah, our last team meeting. Um, yes. So yeah, and it is available as a free download, and we've had is it about 1,500 people download it?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's between English, and then there's more in Italian and Slovenian and Hungarian. So, yeah. And it was funded by Erasmus Plus, which we should remember to say. All of these creations we made, although they're no longer, the money's finished now, we do need to give a shout out, because without that we wouldn't have had the opportunity to take that time and space to create those books and those tools. So alongside, thank you, Libby, for doing the book while I found the presentation. Alongside that, we also had a podcast. There's over 30 episodes in English, and these cover all of the experiences of mums of stepping into the leadership, of nature connection, of mothering. Luby hosted a lot of the English episodes. I joined in for one. How was that, Luby, hosting those episodes?
I loved it. It's great to talk to women around the world, and we had a vision. Well, Vale, one of our Italian partners, had a vision of like a song library for mothers, and then it turned into the podcast. But we really, I kind of kept the idea of how can we bring songs in, and so there's many podcasts there which share songs within the podcast as well. A particular favourite was with Heather Houston, who I did my song leader training with, and she sang about 6 songs during the podcast. So if you're into easy to learn songs that support you, that's a great one. And there's a few more in there as well. So yeah, and we are well, that brings us kind of moving into the future. So maybe I could share, like, well, the present, that's the past, and now we're sort of in the present doing more things, and the another season of the Mother Nature podcast is on the horizon for this year as well. So I'm looking forward to doing that, and open to suggestions of people to interview as well. And yeah,
Yeah,
Emma, do you
but
want
you already
to
have
carry
one
on with?
already in the bag, don't you? With
Yes, it's coming soon. We
yeah,
won't
so
say yet.
no. Okay. It's
Well,
exciting though. It's a bit of a
yes, yes, it is exciting. So stay tuned. Yeah, what else have you been up to, Emma? I've been doing more of the sort of cultural emergence, and Emma has been more taking yeah, taking leadership within the Mother Nature project, and then bringing Hattie in. So I'll hand over to the two of you to share
yeah, well,
what's been happening.
Well, since the funding ended, we've had 2 rounds of the live Leading Mother Nature Circles course, which is an online opportunity to learn how to hold space. Very, very simple facilitation, how to use the beautiful cards and I think it's 9 steps to leading a Mother Nature circle and holding calls, doing that, which has been really fun. And we've got another one coming up in March, if anyone's interested in learning how to facilitate. And alongside that, Hattie and we went to one of Luby's wonderful the Peace course, the Peace Empowerment and Cultural Emergence course, and they had a whole day long retreat of nature connection and various other connections. So Hattie and I was like, this is amazing. So Hattie and I envisioned the new Mother Nature retreats. So we did our first one in January, didn't Hattie? Do you want to share about our first retreat that we did?
Yeah, it was really great. It was a learning curve for us working together, but real opportunity for that because we've known each other a long time, Emma and I. So it was really nice to work together and really lovely to see a variety of women coming together of different ages, different stages of their life, with lots of different things going on. And it was a relatively small circle compared to this one, but the variety of what people were bringing and also I think what they got from it was really inspiring. And yeah, we had a really lovely day. And also I was quite surprised how much kind of nature connection work we could do, even though we were online. So it felt like a really nice balance of that as well. Yeah, and more to come.
And we also have in our things we'd like, before I move on to the things we've got coming up really soon over the next spring and summer, we've got a longer term vision as well for the leadership deck that we put into the chat at some point to raise the funds in some way or to bring that out into the world in a hard printed version. So not just the journey deck, the first one, but the leadership deck to be available. And also on the longer list, we have plenty of things keeping us busy at the moment, or keeping us rich of life and outputs, is to bring the Mothers as Natural Leaders course that we've Mothers as Natural Leaders course that we've done in person, to bring that into an online sphere, because that's one thing that's been really amazing with all of the work we've done, is it's been so international. When you look up to see all the Mother Nature Circle facilitators we have, they're from all over the world. America, we've got Priscilla here, I think I saw her here in Kenya, who came on the course. We've had people from all over Europe, people from Bolivia, really stepping up into their facilitation. And I've got a lovely little short presentation, because some of the things we've got, and Looby and Hattie, do feel free to join in when I share the screen to show that. It's always nice to see pictures for things. In fact, yeah, we did. No, turning myself off, showing the wrong one.
I've got the video as well from the
Oh yeah, do you
first.
want to try and do that from the first one before?
I'll
Let's see if
try.
your internet will hold up.
Let's do it.
I was allowed to be me totally here. I was accepted and I was heard, I was seen. So everything I needed to be able to put the power from within to outside.
Motherhood is a personal transformation. Birth is a kind of threshold where everything changes. It's not just a baby is born, a mother is born.
Modern society, we've quite lost our connection with other mothers and other families. So when we come into being a mother, it's suddenly we haven't necessarily had the role models that our ancestors would have had. So it can feel quite isolating and very much new territory that we're really unsure of how to navigate. And so the Mother Nature Project really helps us to understand that journey and to provide a map of that human behaviour that happens in this transition time.
I think there's so much support and healing that can happen just when moms come together and allow themselves to take time for themselves. reflect on their well-being and take the time to step back for a little moment and get out of this daily rush. And it shouldn't be a privilege. It should be something that's for granted, that every mom is able to take time for herself and to look within what she needs. Today I have this image of like all the different rivers coming together and building one ocean, and that like we need all the women's energy, but it's fine if one of us just sometimes floats like on the water.
Thank you,
Lovely
Looby.
to see those. Yeah, it's lovely to see those pictures there. That was from the first project, the first training we did in Italy in 2019. That's actually our second training, and yeah, to see that like we had just like paper versions of the cards and of the cultural emergence ones in there as well, and both have turned into card decks out, published card decks out in the world. So that's great.
Thank you for sharing that. Um, so I'm going to very quickly just share what we've coming up this year, with a couple of pictures of things we've done at Applewood, and then we're going to move on to getting you to have a go at playing with the cards, which will be really fun, and using them in a breakout room. Oh, thank you, Momoko. So beautiful. It was hard not to cry. It's just lovely.
Can I just share? So I'm going to sort out the breakout rooms, but if there is anyone that doesn't want to be in the breakout room, you could just either message me in the chat or say put NB in front of your name, and then I can put you all in a breakout room where you don't need to talk to each other. If for any reason you don't want to, there'll be small groups of 3, and it is nice to, if you can, be in the breakout room, but I understand that sometimes that doesn't work for people.
Great. Thank you, Looby. So coming up this year, I love my presentations, and here we go. We've got various courses and things coming up this year. So the first one I was talking about was learning to lead Mother Nature circles. And on this online course, it starts on the 17th of March. And you get to learn how space to hold space with women in circle, sharing about their stories. And it's really not a difficult thing to do, but it's crossing that threshold and learning how to hold that space is just a wonderful gift to give yourself. And the people who've been on the course have had a brilliant time, and that starts on the 17th of March. The next course here is coming up at Applewood at the beginning of April, which is the Mothers as Natural Leaders course. And Applewood, quite a few of you know of it, others don't. It's in Herefordshire, UK, and it's got 20 acres of wonderful land, and it's an opportunity for you to explore your leadership journey and your mothering journey with Looby and I. And it's over a weekend, and we get to spend lots of time sharing stories and sitting in circle, having lovely food, connecting with other women and our journeys and our story, and time out in nature as well, and learning how to use nature to support us in our mothering journey, our life journeys. And there's a picture of Applewood in glorious May a couple of years ago on our Mothers in Action course. And yeah, it's just a wonderful opportunity to come together. And yeah, obviously there'll be lots of sitting around the fire and songs, and yeah, it's lovely. So that's the 5th to the 6th of April. We will share links to these. And then Hattie, do you want to talk about the retreat coming up in the summer?
Sorry, I'm not used to using these headphones. Yes, great. So then we've got a couple of retreats booked in. One is online, like the one that we just did in May the 11th. And then after that, we've got another one, which is going to be in a woodland that I'm lucky enough to be co-guardian of, which is in Herefordshire as well. And so that one will be live in person in a woodland in Herefordshire on the 6th of July. And yeah, that will be a sort of mini version of all of the other things that Emma's mentioned, like sitting around the fire and being in nature. Oh, we've skipped on to the next bit.
Sorry.
Do you want me to carry on, Emma?
Yeah,
No?
yeah,
Okay.
carry on.
Okay.
Carry on. Sorry, I clicked the wheel too quickly then.
That's fine. Great. So the other thing I'm involved in, just very quickly, which is sort of loosely connected with the Mother Nature course or inspired by, is a course that I'm running called 13 Moons. And it's about using women artists from the last couple of centuries, really, to inspire us in our journey. And it's a monthly meeting, or it's a course that you can just do completely on your own. And the pictures there on the right hand side that you can see are by an artist called Anna Mendieta, who works a lot with nature, and I was particularly inspired by her. And yeah, so that is coming up. It's due to begin in March, on March the 20th. Great, thank you, Emma.
Wonderful. Sorry, I went a bit quickly through there. And so they're wonderful invitations and offerings to explore what we do with Mother Nature. And we'd like to offer you the opportunity to to explore that now. And we're going to be giving you a chance to go out into some breakout rooms, to be in circle together. We're going to share some cards, and give you an experience of a Mother Nature circle. So the first thing when we come together in circle, and when we're sharing and bringing that forward, it's really important to create a safe container for people. So in order to do that, we have some intentions when we sit in circle together, and we have an agreement. So there are 4 intentions. One is to speak from the heart, and that's to say, when you're sharing in a circle, using the cards to prompt you in that process, and I'll show you the cards in a minute, is we speak from the heart. We say what is true to us there, what is real for us. We also listen from the heart. We do deep listening, so we try as hard as we can. I know there's often distractions. I know when we've got cameras off, there's probably like 500 children running wild behind us, but as much as we can is to speak from the heart and really give our full attention. And that means using your ears, using your eyes, using your body, and how does it feel to receive what people are saying and witnessing them. And that's what's really important in the Mother Nature circles, is that it's an opportunity for people to be heard. And so often in the world, when we're out there, everyone's like, how you doing? I'm fine. And you don't have that moment to just stop and say, oh, this is my truth. This is what life is like for me. This is where I'm at. So making sure that we do that, and to offer that, that's a gift we can offer when we're sitting in circle with other people. The other thing is speaking to the essence, which is saying only the bare minimum. When you share a story or a thought, you don't need to share everything in it. You just need to share the real essence of it. And the final thing is, and we're really tempted when we're in these moments, is try and rehearse what we're going to say before we do it, because we want to sound cool or intelligent or clever or all of those different things. And we just want to know what we're going to say. And actually, our spontaneous responses are the ones that are most genuine and interesting for us. So those are the 4 intentions: speaking from the heart, listening from the heart, speaking to the essence, and being spontaneous. And then there's one final one, which is one agreement. And I would really like either for people to use the hand signals and thing, is to look around. I've just taken you off speaker view onto gallery now, is confidentiality. And when we go into a safe space outside of here to talk and share in the breakout rooms, people need to be sure that whatever they say isn't going to be shared with somebody else. And that includes back here in the room. So the 4 people, I think it's 4 in a room, isn't it, Looby, who are in the rooms and sharing together, that you are holding that space, you're listening to this, 3 in a room, that you are holding those stories and that safe container. And that means agreeing to confidentiality. That means not talking about it outside of the breakout room. It means not sharing their story elsewhere. If you're in person, you wouldn't talk about it at the school gate or in the supermarket, and giving people that freedom to be genuine and real, knowing that their story is just there for that moment. And being confidential doesn't mean sometimes stories touch us and we do need to share, but we can share about our feelings. So I might say, oh, Looby, I went to the Mother Nature workshop and I felt moved by a story about my own story of the day. I'm not explaining that very well. Do you want to explain that, Looby? My train of thought, sorry,
Yeah, it's not sharing what the story was, it's sharing about like what it brought up in you. So not just saying, oh, I heard this story about such and such and such. It's like, actually, I realized about myself, whatever it is.
Yeah. Thank you, Looby. My brain ran out of its moment because I'm clicking things in the background as well. Obviously giving you my full attention. But the thing we love to do on Zoom is get our jazz hands up and to look around on the Zoom space to say, I sign up to giving you confidentiality from the breakout room. So either with your hands up, give them a good wave. I think it's best if you start waving and then you don't stop, and look around and see everyone is giving a wave. If you can't click on, stick a hand up. If you don't want to put your camera on, that's fine. And that's just us sharing to each other. And sometimes I find it hard to stop waving. It's quite nice once you start. Yeah, just stop waving now. But thank you, everyone. And just agreeing to that confidentiality. And when you enter in the rooms, if you just want to check and give each other a wave and say, yep, I'm all in for confidentiality. It's, yeah. And thank you. I said, that's great. Good thumbs up. Yeah. Oh, that's fine, Beth Ann. Sorry, I think she might have already gone. Yeah, so when we're going out into the room, we're going to be asking a question. And would Hattie or Looby like to share the question? Hattie, do you want to share the question while I get the cards up for you to think about?
Question is about our leadership and how we feel we're developing our leadership skills right now in the world, either as a mother or a father or some kind of relation, and yeah, how we're developing our leadership skills. I think that's it. Am I right, Looby? Is there anything to add to that?
Sorry, I'm playing with breakout rooms.
Sorry, that's fine. That's the question.
Everyone
How are we
just look
developing our
away for a
leadership
moment
skills?
while we just finish what we're doing. I'm adding numbers to things. And as you can see, we're all busy mums who've slid in very well, and we're totally here. Right, I've got the cards hopefully in the right order. So I'm going to put the pictures up, and then you can look at them while Looby adds a bit. Well, I'll add a bit more with Hattie. So I need to share the screen. Now I've lost it. Sorry. There we go. So what we've done is today there are like 40 something cards in the Mother Nature Journey deck, but we've, for ease of being able to pick them on the screen today, I've picked out 4 today. Well, Looby and I have picked out 4, so you can see the 4 cards up here hopefully on your screen, and they've got a number under each one. So while you're holding that question in your mind, I'll put the text on the back in a minute in the back, but really have a look at the card. Which one is calling to you as you're thinking about where you're at on your leadership journey and what's... Yeah, could you read out the question again, Hattie? If I go and look at it, everyone will just see the session plan. I've remembered I can't move when I'm in a share.
How are you developing your leadership skills at the moment? That's the simple version.
Yeah, and that could be leadership of yourself, your family, your community, your work, voluntary, your garden, looking after your pets, all sorts of, like, leadership can cover everything. And just see which card is calling to you, and then hold that number in your head. Give you a minute to really look at them. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing for a moment. I will put them back up, and I will put the text from the cards in. So, and I'll read that out as well so you can hear it if you've not got your So the first one, the first image is your gift is effectiveness. In fact, Hattie, could you read them out? Then I can share the picture again.
Yeah, sure. So number 1 is your gift is effectiveness. Be present. Recognize your priorities. Acknowledge your superpowers. Number 2 is you are nature. Engage all your senses. All of nature mirrors you. Connect with the fundamental cycle of living and dying. Open your heart to interconnectedness. The third one is design your life path. Direct your energies with purpose. Grow your effectiveness. Follow what is truly important to you. Follow your joy. And the fourth one is dare to say no. Saying no is saying yes to healthy boundaries. Be crystal clear on your boundaries. Stop feeling guilty about saying no.
Okay, so the plan is we're going to send you out into breakout rooms in your groups of 3, and then it's an opportunity for you to each take turns to share about what that brought up for you. So yeah, to say what came up, maybe why you were attracted to the picture, where you are, and just share that story around where you are on your leadership journey, where that is, what you're bringing into it. Looby or Hattie, would you like to add anything else? And then do a quick check to check everyone's happy with what they're doing.
Yeah, the rooms, 3, maybe 2, maybe 4. So just make sure that everyone has time to speak. And how long are we giving everyone total? Is it 20 minutes?
Yeah, something like, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll send a message out when you've got 5 minutes to go, so that you make sure that everyone has time to
Yeah,
speak.
and if one of you wants to keep an eye on the time, it will take turns to keep an eye on the time. It'll be about 5 minutes each, with enough time to swap over. Is everyone happy with what they're about to go and do? Yeah, give me a thumbs up. Any questions? You all good? Great. Enjoy your circles together and your time together. Remember, give each other a wave of confidentiality when you come in to your breakout rooms. Is it working, Looby?
Do you want to pause the recording, Emma?
Just wait for everybody to come back in. I think all the rooms will bring everyone back now. Hey, welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, everyone. Is that everyone, Em?
Yep, I think everyone is back in here. Over to you, Hattie.
Great. So, yeah, welcome back. And we just wanted to ask you to share something of that experience. So, if you'd like to write something in the chat about how that was for you, and we've got time probably for a couple of you to share if you would like to give us a little wave or put a hand up, a virtual hand, whatever's easiest for you. If you'd like to share something about how that was for you in your breakout rooms and how that question landed. Anybody feeling brave?
Hi, can I say it out loud or should we say it in the chat? I'm sorry. Okay.
No, go for it. Go for it. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm trying to find you.
Lisa Marie.
What's your name? Lisa.
Hi.
Hello. Sorry, just found you.
No, I really enjoyed
Go
that,
for it.
and I think we all sort of were looking at the cards. We looked at the cards and chose our ones, but then when you read them out, we were choosing, wanting to discuss them all really.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
and how some of them affected us, but it is so beautiful being to get, just we all got the same stuff, haven't we? We all have we kind of relate to so much with each other, and and I love this about women coming together. And someone was saying about putting the sort of it's simplified to a way that it's got with a framework. We'd started talking about I was hearing talking about the cards as well, and how it was all put in, as a framework. It just keeps it kind of simple enough to be able to work from rather than get intertwined and
Sure.
which is
Yeah.
been some of our experiences before. I know mine. So yeah, I think we're all looking forward to sort of moving on and stepping in the leadership wherever we are. And no, it was lovely to hear everybody.
Nice. Thanks for sharing, Lisa. Great. Yeah, and I always feel inspired by how whatever we choose, it always touches everyone else in the circle as well. So that's a lovely description of how that works. Yeah, thanks, Lisa. Anyone else like to speak up in the group and share something of that experience?
I'm happy to.
Great.
Right. Yeah, it's similar, really. Just hearing the different stages and needs of individuals within the group, and how much that each one of those resonated. You could really feel so much commonality, no matter what stage anyone was at. Even if it's a future stage that you haven't been to, you're not in yet as a mother. There's a kind of there's a knowledge and a wisdom of, oh yeah, that's all part of this. I feel that, I recognize that. It was, yeah, really nice.
Yeah, definitely that witnessing and sharing now, and how important that is, and how much women have always had that in the past, and that we crave it. So yeah, thank you, Ted. Where are you calling from?
North Somerset, south of Bristol.
Nice, great, thank you, thanks for that sharing. How are we doing on time, Em? Have we got time for another one, or do you want to move on to?
We've got time for another one.
Okay, anyone else like to share something of that experience? I'm not seeing anyone.
Steve, do you want to give us a quick reflection as a man? We've got a couple of minutes. That would be
great. Go for it.
Yeah, thanks, Emma. Thanks, Hattie. It's an intriguing subject. Obviously, myself and Tom were put in a room by ourselves, which was probably smart. Both Tom and I are grandfathers. We're in our 70s, and it's an intriguing subject. I've come on board here, as I have with the other Zoom calls of late, just to stay in touch with the whole permaculture movement, because it's moving quite rapidly, and it's exciting to be part of the forward movement. Now, I live in a house with 5 women. I have 4 young daughters, and I certainly encourage them all to be part of the energy that's evolving, and I find the energy very, very exciting. I quipped to Tom that I was one of the founding members of the Green Party here in New Zealand some 40 years ago. And that 40 years is quite a long time, I guess, in the evolution of the subject that we're talking about. And myself and a few other men talked loosely about this whole subject of the need for women to recognise a re-nurturing role in the planet. Because when I looked, my personal view was, I looked at our history as a species. You go back as far as you like, and the male was the dominant character, the leader. And you also looked at the world as we know it has been raped and pillaged and pilfered and plundered by the male species, predominantly, generally. And if, as a species, we're going to survive on this planet, it needs to be re-nurtured. And the intrinsic characteristic of the female of our species is nurturing. And I used to quip in a jovial, black humor way. I would say, can you please hurry up?
I think you're right there, Steve. That really is one of the things with the mothers as natural leaders is that premise that we can do it now. We've got those skills as mums that are transferable into all areas of leadership, be it, like your finance, your accounting, your peacemaking, your cooking, your logistics, your cleaning, your play, your artistic ones. And there's such a big part, and that really embodies, for those of you who know, permaculture is where Looby started, and a lot of permaculture and cultural emergence have come into the Mothers as Natural Leaders book, and that people care part of it. A lot of the permaculture movement was initially it was kind of earth care, people care, fair share, and that the people care was the harder bit for people to move in. And the Mother Nature Project is part of that social permaculture, an extension of that to support that. Thank you for your reflection, Steve. I'm afraid I would love to hear more of them, but we need to move on to the next part of the call. But it's really good to have you here using the cards and being part of this. So thank you. And it was good to see you last night in the other call as well.
Yeah, thanks everyone for your reflections. That's great. And
Yeah.
just a quick one to add on there, like it's really lovely to see babies on here as well, and to realize that we can also support each other at different stages of our mothering journey, and that we can step in to that leadership role whenever we feel called to, really step in and out a bit, because we've all got each other's backs, which is really lovely to remember too. Thanks, Em. Go for it.
So we're gonna tonight, we're lucky enough, hopefully she's still here. I've got you on just on speaker view, is Priscilla is in the call. Hopefully, yeah, Priscilla's here. And she joined last year in the spring for our mothers as live leading Mother Nature circles on circles course from Kenya. And I was just wondering if she'd like to unmic and just share about her experience of stepping up into her leadership, coming on the course and using the cards, and how she's taken it out into her community and get a bit of a global perspective. Priscilla, would you like to unmute?
Yes. Thank you, Emma and Ati, for this opportunity, and all the participants. It's been lovely to be present in these circles, and I'm grateful for having taken the course on mothers as natural leaders, and to be part of the facilitators of mothers as Mother Nature circles. It is a privilege for us and all those that are participating as leaders to hold space for other people who are interested in mothers as leaders or in the journey of motherhood. People, not necessarily mothers, but all those that are interested in motherhood or being mothers and leaders, because mothers are very busy people, and they need really to take care of themselves and other people. It is a privilege to be a confidant of others. So with this agreement of confidentiality, then it's a privilege for others to have to confide in us and to hold space for them and be able to help them share what is in their hearts, spontaneous, and be of help to them. Sometimes we get back to these people offline or on WhatsApp, or we are able now to meet further and discuss more. And it has been of great help because of the skills given to us through Looby, Emma, and Barbara. And I think also John Young, he has participated in the other courses that I've gone through. And since I started with the Mothers as Natural Leaders course, I'm grateful that this is what introduced me to the other courses, and it has been of great benefit to me and to other people in my country, and also the people that I meet in online from other countries. So I'm very grateful to have had the opportunity. It helps me to translate permaculture from land to people. Thank you very much.
Thank you there, Priscilla. That's a wonderful sharing about how it really is. It's taking permaculture to the next level, from the land to the people, and that support and what you're bringing into community. And I know sometimes your circles, you have hundreds of women and people from your community there. So it's just really inspiring to hear how you bring that out into the world. And yeah, and it was great to have you as part of the course and joining in. And I think it's that thing about when you decide to take that moment and step into your leadership to say, I want to do something more. I've seen the world needs support. I've seen my community. I've seen my family. And you take that extra step, that actually it's a snowball effect. It helps you to take your next step and your next step and find the path that you want to be in. And being a leader doesn't mean to say you have to be in charge of everything and bossing everyone about. That isn't what we're bringing. It's that regenerative feminine leadership that Tom was just saying about how we bring that feminine quality, that mother qualities into our leadership in the comments he was adding in there and others have added, that when we step into that and we bring that more feminine, that collaborative, that together energy, that's what our world needs, because yeah, that's the world has been damaged by the other kinds of leadership. So yeah, it's an inspiring thing. And I'm going to take a moment now to share a video from a course we did a couple of years ago. A woman called Christina Panicali came over from Italy, who's a Spanish filmmaker and part of the Mother Nature Project, and she documented our Mothers in Action course, which was one of the first ones we did, where we explored the leadership and also creating designs and bringing circles and facilitation. And there's a beautiful video in it, and also it's got Looby, who's had to leave the call because her video has gone, talking about leadership, and she does it in the most essence-full way possible. So I'm going to, hopefully you'll be able to hear it. Media player and share. And if you can't, do someone unmute and say if it's not. Oh, no, I can't see the button. If it doesn't play the sound.
I don't have any sound, so I wonder if it's the same.
Emma, there's no sound coming out, I think.
I mean, I'll just pause it. Is no one else hearing it at the moment?
I've got a couple of sentences or something, but no.
Okay. I wonder how. Oh, wait a second. I'll stop sharing. To be there. Oh no. Have I split? Maybe if there's anyone who's very technological and can just unmic and say, "Do this," that'll make it work.
No, sorry, but I can talk about something else if you want while you're trying to sort it out.
Do that.
I wonder on the bottom of your screen, there was a little sound thing, and you might need to click on that, and then you can raise the sound level there.
Oh, maybe not, because I could hear.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about the platform that you're playing it from as well.
Yeah, I'm in Media Player. I wonder whether I'd be better from YouTube, whether that would work.
Possibly.
Okay. You talk, Hattie. I'll go bring in the YouTube and see if that works.
Okay, great. You try something else. Brilliant. So just to say a little bit more about my journey with this. So I'm trained as a nature-based facilitator, and I also do biography work, which is kind of looking at our stories and when things have happened and how they've happened. And I came to motherhood quite late. I was 40, in fact, nearly 41 when my boys were born. And I didn't know I was having twins until I was 35 weeks pregnant. So that was a bit of a shock, especially at the age of 40, when I'd lived a very kind of free life, mostly out of my backpack, traveling the world. And yeah, it was a big shock. And this journey with this whole Mother Nature project has been a real support for me in kind of stepping into everything that's required of as being a mother. And now this extra bit of really meeting with people around the world is really supportive and exciting. And like Emma was saying on our retreats, like the last retreat we had, even though it was quite a small group, was really international. And I just feel really inspired about these circles and how they're growing and just popping up all over the world. So I hope that some of you who aren't involved would like to get more involved, because it's quite simple way of connecting with other women. And often, as Priscilla was saying, you know, it's a real honor and privilege to hear people's stories and to be holding space for others, and walking alongside others and sharing in a way that we would have done a lot more of in community many years ago, and how often now we are isolated. I'm looking at Emma's face and I think she's still concentrating, trying to work this out. Well done, Emma. So I'll just tell you a little story while she's doing that, very short story from John Young, who some of you may have heard of. And I actually went to Namibia sort of on the back of working with him, and to be part of what's called a living museum, where the Bushmen are creating an experience for foreigners to see some of their lifestyle, and talking about many aspects of the way that they live in community. And one of the things that really stuck with me is how traditionally all cultures all over the world would have had something like 20 people who they could share with in a day, who they could just look in the eye and share their experience of what was going on for them that day. And today, we're lucky if we have one person that we can really talk to about our day and what's going on for us. And yeah, that really stayed with me and really inspires me on this part of my journey of bringing people together and trying to allow people that space to share and be witnessed and be heard, and how powerful that is. How are you doing, Emma? Yay.
Ready to give it another go. If it doesn't go, I will share the link in the chat and you can copy it and paste it and have a watch later, because it is good. We've done it, we've shared it before, but I'm going to now try it from YouTube and see if that works. Now I've lost YouTube. Give me thumbs up if you can hear sound.
Can't hear anything yet.
Still no sound.
Okay, well, I'll talk over the top of it. I can just repeat what Looby says when she gets to the really good bit. This was at the Mothers in Action course where we invited 14 women, I think it was, to join us at Applewood. And it was an opportunity where we explored the premises of leadership, that we're mothers, we've got transferable leadership skills, that we need to own our leadership stories, that we need to take control of that. And what Looby was just saying about sharing our story of the day that John Young had shared, that was in those intact communities, and also actually recognizing that we can be leaders, and those limiting beliefs when you're like, well, I can't lead anyone, how I can't even get myself up and dressed in the morning, and that actually when we step into that moment, it's really powerful and we become leaders of our families and our community. And yeah, lovely seeing all the women here. It's surreal. Did some lovely rituals together and lots of wishes. And it's very embarrassing self seeing a thing in there. I'm going to say what Luke is in. We need to own our leadership stories. We have these leadership stories and we need to own them. And we need to own this role. By owning our leadership stories, we're owning that power. And we can use it more positively. Nature connection can connect us with our own nature and our own gifts. Through that nature connection, we come in contact with ourselves and our potential and our gifts and our purpose and our leadership and our ability to look after ourselves, our ability to connect with each other, and our ability to show up in the world. And through the nature connection, it sparks an urge for change, care and protection, and drives our activism, whatever that is. It opens that door for earth care to really be present in our lives in whatever way that is. We all need to step into our leadership more. This is actually the whole premise, is mothers as natural leaders. It's the whole premise is we can do it. We need it. Let's do it. Let's step into our leadership. And then there's some more beautiful pictures of Applewood. And I will share the link for that. Oh, still playing in my, I can hear it all.
Perfect. Thanks.
Hopefully I managed to convey Looby's beautiful words not too badly. I don't know if I can
voiceover.
Did a voiceover. But yeah, and that's the experience on the Mothers as Natural Leaders course that we'll be doing. Looby and I are holding in April this year. It's really exploring on those premises. You saw the picture in the background of the various premises of our Mothers as Natural Leaders, and really exploring our skill set and actually giving us an opportunity to cross that threshold. When we saw Lisa there jumping over the stick, we did a whole ritual about actually I can cross over that threshold into leadership. And the same when we do our online circles, there's a moment where people have a go at leading those circles in the course. course, and before they go, and there's lots of like, oh, I don't know if I can do that, and oh, I'm not sure, but I'm going to have a go. And then they have a go at leading, a go at facilitating, of holding space. And when they come back, everyone's like, I did it. It was amazing. I feel brilliant. So actually, not only are we taking those gifts out in the world to do good, it also does us good. It helps us empower us, whoever that is, man or woman or human being, whatever person is there stepping into their leadership brings those extra gifts. So we would love to hear any questions from people who haven't spoke yet, to give everybody a chance to speak. Yeah, if there's any questions or reflections you'd like to share, I'm just going to offer that out to anyone, or pop them in the chat. If you want to put your hand up, or
I have a question.
yes, go for it, Alexandra.
Hi, I'm apologizing because I arrived late to the meeting. I didn't know it was happening, and so I didn't get anything that was said at the beginning. But so I'm just, and you may have answered this. So, with the training and delivering these circles, are you always using the cards as part of the circles that you run? Are you basically, within the training, you train to run the circles using the cards as a basis? Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. So the Mother Nature, we've got one printed deck, and hopefully we'll have the leadership deck at moment, but the one that we use that in the circle, so people have an opportunity. We can use it in different ways. Often the cards are spread out all out in a big circle, and people make beautiful mandalas and centerpieces to make it look gorgeous and help focus, and people pick the cards. Sometimes people might use them and just have a couple of cards, and you really focus in on what you might think about or what you might discuss and have a particular topic you were doing. So say Looby uses the design web to create designs for permaculture and cultural emergence, and for Mother Nature in our leadership journey. So you might have the design your life path one and focus just on that. The skills that are there in holding a circle, Mother Nature circles aren't necessarily entirely unique in the world. There are lots of other circles in the world. So to call a Mother Nature circle a Mother Nature circle, you need to have the Mother Nature cards and follow the steps that are part of it. But the skills you learned are transferable to other circles and other cards. So you could hold a goddess deck circle. So it's very much a transferable skills. It's facilitation skills to support you. But we teach it specifically to go with the Mother Nature card deck, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's very transferable skills to take out there. Has anyone else got any questions about the courses or reflections from being here today, or thinking about how you might like to be involved, or future things you'd like to know? Ted?
Just wondering, so I've held women's circles for about 10, 12 years. So I'm just wondering how, if like, I think this is probably just clarifying what the last person asked, but so you're using the deck and weaving in those skills and those techniques. And I'm just wondering, is it very sort of, does it cover everything, like from baseline of people who've never held a circle before? Would it be useful to somebody who's held circles a lot but not used this method, basically?
Yes, I think it's in that realm. So it's someone who's never held a circle before can come and join the course and really step into their facilitation skills and have a go. For people who have held a circle before and done that, it's an opportunity for them to add something else to their toolkit. So every time you go on a new course and you learn it, you kind of refresh and remember the old skills you have, because I know what it's like. I've just been considering going on another course. I'm like, oh, I know all about that. Then I'm like, actually, it's a bit, what do you call it in professional speak? Professional to personal professional development. It's that moment where you revisit the skills you've got before and learn something new and different ways of doing things. And the cards are really amazing. And I think the other benefit of the circles is as well is because the course is made up of everyone is learning how to lead a circle together. There's a moment for asking questions and sharing your own stories and your journey, and having a mix of people, from people who've not done it to people who have, they all bring different reflections. And there's all those moments of what do you do if this happens? And we share those in the live calls. It's an opportunity to talk through those and make those connections. So also you get to sit in circle lots of times and be held in that process because you go to each other's circles. So yeah, I think it's really relevant for both sides, for the beginner and for like you, who's very experienced and has done it before. It brings in those extra bits. And plus you get accreditation and some really nice logos and things. So this is a Mother Nature Circle and a listing on our website, which is obviously fantastic to be able to offer those with your work.
And out of interest, actually linking onto that, how much do you ask for donations when you're holding circles? If you were then using the banner, is there a sort of set
no, it's up to you to feel into what works for you, because everyone, like, it's supposed to be, we're hoping it'll be used all over the world, and however that works is whatever works for you. And I think it's really important when we learn these skills, we can offer them for free, but actually we also need to earn a living and do that, and honouring the time and commitment that we put in as facilitators. So it's what's reasonable for you. I guess maybe we'd have a problem if someone's charging £1,000 for a circle, but I think no one's ever going to try or get away with charging £1,000. And we do have like agreements that you sign once you've gone through your accreditation process and reported for using the logo and having that legal gubbins in the background that says you can use that.
Right, that's
Does
really
that
helpful.
answer your question?
That's actually, thanks. Yeah, it's
Are you
great.
thinking of joining us maybe in March for the course?
Yeah, I am actually thinking, yes. Yes.
Great. It'd be super fun. It's such a great course. And the last group I just took through, they had they're all still got a WhatsApp group and they're meeting up to go to each other's circles. And so you get this nice sisterhood coming together. Lovely.
Great.
Steve, you've got a quick reflection for us. Oh, you're still muted.
Just unmute there. Yeah. Again, quite exciting stuff unfolding here. Emma and Hattie, and for Looby too, I guess. Can I see a direct correlation here to children in permaculture? Why I ask is because my partner Martina Petrus from Czech Republic, she and I instigated the Children in Permaculture movement, which grew quite rapidly through the help of the British Permaculture Association, and it's quite healthy now. I'm just wondering if you are interested in connecting with that group and bringing them into a Zoom of this nature, because I personally feel there's a direct crossover here.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because Lara, who's part of the Slovenian Mother Nature team for the part one, was also in the Children in Permaculture project. So through the Permaculture Association, was working with Lucy Aldislow and others to create the book and those tools. So a lot of that's been weaved in, which is why you can obviously see those crossovers. So we're still working with them, and although we're not getting funding directly through the Permaculture Association, I met up with Lucy Aldislow in the autumn. She came through, she was visiting where we are. So yeah, I think it's good, all of those connections and those weaving, that should be our default whatever we're doing, and permaculture or otherwise, or cultural emergence, is making those connections and making sure we're doing that. So it's good to have that reminder. Thank you, Steve. Has anyone else here got any reflections? Thank you, Julia. You're interested in connecting, Steve. That's good. Yeah, and Justine, ordering the cards. Oh, that's a good segue to remind me to say to you that you can order the cards, the Mother Nature cards. I'm sorry they have to. Yeah, where are you in, Justine? It's obviously got to pay lots of fees to get them delivered.
Yes, I'm from Belgium.
Ah, yes. No, it's really hard. The whole just getting anything even in the UK at the moment is difficult. So
yeah, it's too bad, because there's so many things I want to order from the UK, but it's always like 30 euros fees with the custom. So
yeah, I don't think there were. We did have some on the continent, but I think most of those not there. If you speak Italian or Slovenian or Hungarian, you can buy them in that language as well. If you happen to speak any of those, English is not the only language you have to speak. I can't speak those languages. I can kind of guess the Italian. And there are very long tendrils out in the world thinking about translating the Cardex, but that's very far into the future, finding those groups and doing that. So did anyone else have any questions or reflections? I'll put the link for the books in there.
Just one more kind of FAQ.
And then
maybe I'll email them. Actually, it's about the course in March. I'll email them in.
Well, if you've got time to hang on, because we'll bring the call to an end in about 5 minutes. You can stay on and ask those extra questions, but people would be interested. And Alexandra, you had your hand up as well.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm really interested in the course coming in April, actually, to the live one. But I have something booked in, a work thing booked on one of the days. So I don't know whether I can change it, but I just wonder if you're going to run it again in person at any other point in this year.
Not this year. We tend to just one a year for the in-person courses. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully maybe the work thing can move, but it might be one of those like fixed, solid. Be lovely to have you join us. Anyone else who's not spoken yet want to share anything or any reflections or thoughts? It's lovely seeing your baby here, Dorothy. Oh yeah, Lisa. Oh, you're still mute. There you go.
I wasn't going to, but I will just ask. I know about the one in April, but not in March. Is that an online one?
Yes, yeah. So that's the Live Leading Mother Nature Circles course with me, where I'll be taking there's like some pre-recorded videos and a PDF where you get to learn the theory of running the circles from Lara and Sarah from the Italian and Slovenian team. And then you get to join for 4 live calls with me, 2 hours each, where we get to practice, learn extra things, experience things like deep listening, and take turns to lead a circle and witness others leading a circle. And yeah, and then at the end of that you report, and then you get to be a Mother Nature Circle facilitator. We do also, I meant to mention, is we have some bursary places available. We've got 4, so people can apply, and then we've kind of, if we get more than 4, we have to pull names out of the hat. But yeah, trying to make sure we pay it forwards, because yeah, we want as many women as possible. And there is also, if you just want to learn about it, there's also, I'll put these in the chat in a free version of the course through the Erasmus Plus funding, because they funded it together. There's one where you can just watch the videos and the PDF, but you don't get the social contact, but you can see all of that. And Justine said you'd applied. Yeah, I thought I recognised your name. Sorry, it's not. I'm dyslexic, so sometimes I see the names and I see the faces. It's the 15th of March that we'll send out the final message, unless we've kind of closed that. Yeah. But yeah, I'm really glad that I can offer that as a bit, because I think it's such important work, and sharing the circles and all the different stories we've heard of bringing it out there, how important it is to share it when we can. So yeah. Lovely. Hattie, have you got any closing thoughts while I find these links before we bring the call to an end?
I just wanted to close with that quote, which has gone out of my head now. You might remember the exact words in a minute, Emma, but it's you put it at the bottom of your emails, and it's something about changing the world, how important it is for mothers to come together to change the world. Sorry.
That's fine. I'll find it. I can find my email.
I'm batting it back to you.
It says, helping women become conscious mothers. This is perhaps the greatest way we can bring peace to this world. And that's by Gomaka Kahalata. So she's pronouncing it really badly. Oh, lovely. Well, if anyone wants to stay around and ask any other questions, we'll close up the call and bring our circle to end today. And thank you all so much for coming, and thank you everyone who's listened to the end and took part in watching it. And we will, when we send out the recording, share the links and to the videos, and do visit the Mother Nature Project website, where you can find out loads more information, see the links to the videos and courses and books and things we've done in the past and things coming in the future. So we just want to take a moment to close our eyes, so bring the candle up, to bring our thoughts back when we invited those here to be in the circle, those great grandmothers, the great grandmothers, our grandmothers, our mothers, to the mothers here and mothers elsewhere, and thinking to those future mothers, and to the great grandfathers and the grandfathers and the future grandfathers and those children, those we bring into the world, and to Mother Nature that we invited in, that more than human world, the ground beneath our feet, the air above us, and to give gratitude to them for being here, holding us in this space. And to give gratitude to the women who created the cards so that we could be here, for those who imagined the project. Give gratitude to you all for coming here this evening as well. to having the information, for those watching the call, for being here, witnessing, and for those in the circles, being held in that space and witnessing each other as we shared on our journeys. So thank you, everybody. And to send a final wish out to all those in the world, all those mothers that we can, those of us who go on to lead, will support, and others in the world, and that future energy will bring. Back the candle.